Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Spiritual Superpowers. I'm Dawn, this is Caron. I just finished doing a Reiki treatment on Caron.
It was wonderful.
So I'm gonna find out how Caron found it and some things that she noticed. So, all right, why don't we talk?
Yeah. What is Reiki?
Oh, Reiki is a Japanese energy technique.
Reiki is actually made up of two words, rei, meaning wisdom or guided knowledge, and ki, which is universal life force energy. The Reiki system was created by Dr. Mikao Usui. He was born into a wealthy Buddhist family in the mid-1800s and was given a formal education in medicine and psychology. But when he came down with cholera in an epidemic, he decided to look for more natural healing sources to help him heal.
You know what? It's amazing. You're not physically touching me, but I can feel such heat from your hands.
I love hearing that.
Yeah. It's like it's a little heater.
Intense
cool.
heat radiating from Dawn's hands. Like she was maybe this far away, but it was, her hands I think were warm, but still the heat was very intense. Like even if someone had warm hands, and you might feel that when they get close to the body, this was more than just a little bit of heat from warm hands. This was like intense heat.
Good.
Like intense in a good way.
The story of how Dr. Usui created Reiki was he went on a venture and fasted in a cave for 21 days. On the 21st day, he had a revelation and visions of Sanskrit symbols, which later became the Reiki symbol system. It was important to Dr. Usui to develop a system that was not tied to any religious beliefs. He wanted everyone to be able to benefit from this healing energy. He opened up his first Reiki clinic in Japan and started treating patients as well as training them on how to treat themselves and become Reiki practitioners.
And me being intuitive, I really feel what's going on. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing I always notice, and it doesn't just happen when I have a Reiki treatment, it happens whenever there's some sort of energy treatment, is I have a release of energy through my left foot. And I don't know if that came through on the video, but I get this, sometimes my whole leg jumps off the table, but I get this big twitch in my left foot, and it's always the left foot. And I don't get that when I lie down on the couch or in bed or anything. It just happens during energy treatments, and it definitely happened today. So that's good. And now I almost like, oh good, it's working, because I know that's how, for whatever reason, my body releases energy.
One of Dr. Usui's proteges, Dr. Hayashi, went on to open up his own Reiki clinic in Tokyo. He also added a few more hand positions to allow the treatment to cover the entire body, as well as perfecting the attunement process. One of his patients was an American, Mrs. Takata. She was fascinated with the process, and he formally trained her as a Reiki master. When she returned to the US, she continued to practice Reiki by treating patients as well as teaching the practice. In her lifespan, she attuned 22 Reiki masters.
But just so you know too, the heavy, like I felt that heaviness in my chest, and it feels back to
In Reiki, we work on channeling life force energy from us and offer it into the body of the patient. But we also work on other energy systems, and this includes the chakra system.
And I think when you were tuning into my chakras, I saw them in a way I've never seen them before. And that was all spinning in a single unit, which I always visualize. I always balance my chakras, but I always do them individually. And I've never thought of even trying to spin them all together in a single unit. So I knew that wasn't my thinking. So that was cool. The other neat thing was, so Dawn was placing her hands on my body, and then she had her hands here, and then she moved her hands to my knee, and I could feel two hands on my knee, but I felt actually, like you had your hands here, I felt this hand on my stomach as soon as you, or my abdomen area, as soon as you moved your hands to my knee. And it was like there were 3 hands on my body, and I had to open my eyes to like, where are all these hands coming from? Because I could not tell which were your hands and which were someone else's hands. I don't know who those hands belong to. You know who they belong to.
So where's this other hand coming from?
It's part of my team.
Oh yes, yeah. Cool.
I always call it Enos and Deborah. So
Yeah.
they wherever you need more work, they just come right in.
Okay, well there we go. But I actually have to check.
I
How
know.
is she? Where are the 3 hands coming from?
So cool. I love when that happens.
Yeah. Getting a lot of neat things today.
Yeah. We needed it today.
Reiki's a really cool treatment in that it balances the body. It's a natural intelligence and goes to the area where your body needs it the most. I offer you Reiki, so if you need it in certain areas, your body will take it in and do with it what it needs. If you have an area of high energy buildup, then your body will dispel that energy. Like I said, bringing back to a nice balanced homeostatic condition. As Caron has mentioned, she has felt a number of different things today. She felt heat, sometimes she felt cold, she felt tingling, she felt a flow of energy, and she felt extra hands on her. These are all some of the things that you might feel in a Reiki treatment. And some of the benefits are, like I said, balancing, but you'll feel a great sense of relaxation. We reduce those stress hormones. We promote happy, natural, feel-good hormones. It promotes sleep, healing, and balancing. Sometimes the treatment shocks me as well. However, there are some times when things happen that I can't explain, but I just go with what I'm being told. In this case, Caron's energy was flowing in a different direction. You can see the look on my face that I had no idea what was going on.
I would have thought that would go out, but it's actually like right now with what we're doing, you're drawing it in.
Ah,
Yeah, so maybe you're just drawing in the Reiki, but
I did feel it kind of going
could you?
up, but yeah.
Yeah, it reminded it like you actually coiled at one point, kind of like when you touch a worm and it like shrinks.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah,
Like as
yeah.
if this was a worm, just kind of like.
Yeah, it did feel like it was
Did it?
drying up.
Oh, cool.
I always check my clients' energy fields, even outside of a Reiki treatment. Sometimes I come across some blockages, which I hope to correct. Other times I come across resistance, where I'm not able to really access the body. So I'll have my clients take a deep breath in and relax on the exhale, or we'll go as far as to ask the client to give me permission to work.
This one was a little more subtle, so I think, some people may not notice this so much. I could tell when I was resisting. And, and then Dawn would say something and I'm like, yeah. And maybe that was a little more subtle, but I can tell there was points where I was resisting. I'm not sure why, but I was really at those moments, especially when she said it, I could feel it, and then she'd say something and I'd go, okay, try to, I don't know, stop resisting, I guess. Like just let you in, or let the energy in. So that was very cool.
And there you have it. We seal it with a symbol.
So just understand that I have had Reiki treatments from Dawn before, and Dawn is the type of Reiki practitioner that brings in a lot of things. I wouldn't say it's your typical Reiki treatment. And so I mean, it's just amazing what she can do and all the tools in her toolbox. So she's definitely a go-to person for Reiki. I think our bodies need so much more than just the physical. Again, everything comes down to we've got to look at everything from the body, mind, spirit perspective. And we really need to address all those.
Yeah,
So-
and Reiki definitely does.
Yeah. And then, I'm certified to do Reiki on animals because I have not the extensive, certification and experience that Dawn has, but I do treat myself sometimes. So there's that. And there's Reiki from a distance. maybe talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so yes, when you take the level 2 advanced or master, you are now attuned to be able to do Reiki from a distance. And I do that by going into a meditation and connecting with the soul and the body of whomever I'm going to be treating. And I can see their energy in my mind's eye. And I then treat this person exactly the same way I do in practice, only their body isn't there.
Right.
I actually use a teddy bear. It works very well through distance, and that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to do the video, because we had thought about interviewing other people, but I've been a Reiki master for 20 years, and we're going into a lockdown. You know, I wanted our viewers to know that if they are struggling in any way, mental, physical, emotional, that they might want to reach out to someone who practices Reiki, and then they can actually get a distance healing as well.
Yeah, and I think we have to get past the notion that I have to be physically present to get a treatment. And I think this is a big step for a lot of people, because I do animal communication from a distance. You do Reiki from a distance. And so understanding that energy has no space and time. And so it's just as effective. I think it's just, you know, our thinking that we can't kind of wrap our minds around that it's effective, because I don't know, we're not conditioned to think that way.
That's right. But I mean, we talk on the phone, the person's not there.
Yes.
We're streaming a video through the internet.
Yes.
Radio waves. Yeah. So I mean, there is a lot that we use in our daily life that is invisible.
Yep.
And like you said, it's a form of energy, and energy is everywhere. Everything is energy. And one of the ways
and
that
we're energy
and
too.
we are energy.
Yes.
We are molecules vibrating and creating this kind of physical body. One way I like to explain how Reiki works is that, so I am just the channel. I'm not the one actually creating Reiki or giving you my chi or my ki. What I'm doing is I'm the channel. So if we think of the sun, you know, the sun is solar energy, it's light energy. And when the sun is out in the universe and it's shining its light, we'll picture a little rock sitting out in the sunlight. Now we know, like, it's not, the sun isn't actually touching the rock, but the light rays are. And so this light energy, solar energy, goes on to the rock. Now, I pick up the rock, or one of our viewers picks up the rock. We all know that that rock will be warm.
Yeah.
And it is because it is a channel where it has taken the sunlight energy and channeled it into its own form of energy, which is then perceived by us as heat energy. So Reiki's the exact same way. What I do is I gather the universal life force energy, and then I channel it through my body into the client, and it's often perceived as heat or cold, but that's all. I'm just the rock. I'm just the rock, but it's all transference of energy. And I think maybe when people see it that way, then they can understand that maybe how it works a little bit more, because it's just energy.
But in 20 years or so, we're going to be looking at all of this differently. This is going to be also mainstream. I'm looking forward to that day.
Oh, me too.
Well, thank you, Dawn.
Thank you for being my body today.
Yeah, and I invite our viewers to try out Reiki. You know, it's a great thing to try and see what you feel, kind of tune into your body, and then see how you feel after. And I bet, just like myself, you'll feel great after, and you'll be asking yourself why you hadn't tried it before now. So
we will include links below which have some directories on where you can find Reiki practitioners either in your area or ones that do distance. So definitely recommend that.
Okay, so thanks for tuning in.
Give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. Bye.